Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you how to make this dress that you're seeing on the screen. So you'll need your scissors, stitch markers, you need your tape measure, and I have two different size 4mm hook, so either one should work. Okay, so let's get started. So today I'll be using this color yarn. It's called light blue, and I'll link it in the description box below if you're interested in getting this color. To start, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I am going to chain about 13. I'm going to chain 13 chains for a size small. I'll put on the screen the amount of chains that you need to make for each size. So that's 13. I'm going to hold that last chain and chain 3 more. 2, 3. I'm going to yarn over, make a double crochet into that last chain that I was holding, which is the 13, or whichever is the last chain for your size. I'm going to continue with double crochets going down until I am at the end here. So you just continue with your double crochets until the end. So now that I'm at the end, and my last chain, in the last chain I made 1 double crochet already. I'm going to make 2 more double crochets, so that will be a total of 3. And then I'm going to chain 2 and then make 3 more double crochets in that last chain. And that will be the first part of our to shape the bra cup. So I'm going to yarn over while hiding this excess yarn at the back. So I'm going to make a double crochet into this double crochet right there and continue making double crochets while hiding the yarn until I am at the end, and that will complete our first row. And this is how the first row looks. Now on the screen I'll tell you how many rows that you make for each size. For the pattern that I'm going to do today, I already made the first cup. I've made 3 rows of the double crochet, then I have a double crochet chain 1, then double crochet, and then double crochet chain 1. So it depends on the pattern that you like to choose. You can either do this that I'm going to do in my video today, or continue with double crochets for the number of rows that I mentioned before. So I'm going to make 3 more rows of the regular double crochet, and all I did was chain 2, yarn over, and then continue with my double crochets. So I'm going to continue with the double crochets until I am at the top or the center where we had the chain 2, and when I'm at the top I'll show you what I do. So now that I'm at the top, at the center here, I'm going to make 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1, and then make 2 more double crochets into that same center, and then continue with my double crochets going down on the side. So that's all you'll do if you were going to continue with the double crochet pattern for your bra cup. You just make 2 double crochets in the center, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. So you just do that until you get the number of rows that you need. And always remember, at the last chain here, it seems a bit tricky because you might be confused that you did it already, but just remember that you need this to do the last chain as well. So I'm going to continue doing this for 1 more row in total, and then I'll show you how it looks when I'm finished. Okay, so I'm completed all 3 rows that I need, so I'm going to start with this pattern now, and to do so I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and then chain 1. I'm going to skip the next double crochet and then make a double crochet in the one next to it. So that is the pattern: chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. So I'm going to continue with that until I am at the top. So now that I'm at the top, I only have double crochets to skip, so I'm just going to do the same, chain 1 and then skip over that double crochet there and make 2 double crochets in the center, 1 double crochet, 2 more double crochets, and then I'm going to chain 1 and do the same as I did on this side. So because I skipped the one next to the center, I'm just going to do the same and then I continue with that going down. So whatever you did on the right side, just do it on the left. And remember, the center should have the 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And that's it for row 1. Well, with the new row, right? So the next one is the double crochets, and I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and then make a double crochet in the center. You can make your double crochet on top if you like, but it takes more effort to do so. So I'm going to make it in the chain 1. So continue with your double crochets until you're at the top, and at the top you'll do the same with the 2 double crochets, 1 chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, so this is how it looks with the pattern. So after that, I have this row left, which is basically the last row. And to do so, when you're doing the left couple, you start this on this side. So this couple that I'm making, for you it will be the left cup. That's if you want this pattern that I am doing now, right? It will be the left cup. So you start with these things, the picot. You start with this on this side, but because this is the right side that I am doing now, I am going to do it on this side. So just remember, your first couple will be your left couple, and you start your picot stitches right here. So I did 1 2 3 4 5 6 on the left couple. So I'll need to find the same amount of stitches here, right? So I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, chain 1, skip 1, and enter into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, into the next. So to make it easier, what I'm going to do is to use my stitch marker to mark where I should start making my picot stitch on the right cup. And if it's easier for you, you can just make your right cup now, as I am doing. So I'm going to mark mine. So as I mentioned, I had 6, but there's some spaces in between. So I have 1. So it will be at the 11th double crochet. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. It will be right here. So you can just mark yours as well. And to continue with the 1 double crochet, chain 1 and skip 1 until I'm at the stitch marker. Alright, so now that I'm at the stitch marker, what I'm going to do is to remove it, make my double crochet into that space, then chain 3 1 2 3. I'm going to take my hook and to put it in between where you see these 2 gaps right here, make a slip stitch, pull through, and then make a slip stitch just like that. And that's my first picot. Chain 1, yarn over, skip this one, go into the next and make my picot, and I do so by chain 3 in this 2 gap right here. I am going to put my hook under it and make a slip stitch just like that. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, make a double crochet, chain 3, and make a picot like that, like so. Chain 1, yarn over, skip, chain 3, make a picot, make a slip stitch. So as you can see, we have the same amount that I needed for the left cup. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is how it will look. And I did this because if I had started my picot stitch for my right cup on this side, the right side or the wrong side will be the one that is exposed where we hid the yarn before. So that's why I did it on this side. So when you're working on this other cup, their next cup, you'll just start on this side, so it looks like this. But if you have any questions or any concerns or any suggestions, you can send them to my Instagram that you see on the page. Now to do the last piece, I am going to chain 3, chain 1, basically chain 4, yarn over and make a double crochet into this space here, double crochets. So we're going to chain 1 and put them in each double crochet rows that we have. Chain 1, make it into this row, chain 1 in the next double crochet row, chain 1 in the next double crochet row. Oops. Okay, so now that I've completed this part of it and I have this left, I'm going to let it stay, and you should have something like this. So remember, the left part will have the picot stitches on the inside, so you wouldn't cut everything after you finish. You leave a tail like this, and we're going to do this to join it to this piece. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker, insert it into the loop, and then look for the edge of this. Remember, we chain 1 here as well, and then I'm going to insert it into this piece before the chain 1. I'm going to join them together with a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 1 and pull through just like this. So this is how it looks, or you can just join it as how you would normally join your yarns together. Right, so this is the final, well, the final look of the cup. So after you joined it together, you're now going to chain 1 and cut this piece like so. And now we're going to just hide our yarn, because we need a clean space such that it is visible to work with. So you can just weave it in each stitch, just so that it is not visible, right? Alright, so just like so. Now what I'm going to do is to join my yarn in the middle. I'm going to make a slip knot, sorry, and I am going to attach my yarn in the middle that we have before, that we join the two cups together. So I inserted my hook in the middle. I'm going to put the loop that I've made with the slip knot and just pull it through just like so, and I am just going to start chaining. You're going to make a chain that will fit the widest part of how you will put this dress on. So if you're going to put this dress on over your head, you measure the widest part, which may be your shoulders or your bust. If you're going, or even your waist, if it's the widest part. If you prefer to put it over your hip, maybe for somebody who's not as broad and just prefer that, you can make your hip size in length, right? So for me, the mannequin that I am working with, the bust size is 30 inches, right? So I am going to make a chain that measures 30 inches. So you'll make the chain that measures where the widest part of the body that you're going to put this dress over. So I'm going to make a chain of 30, and after I'm going to make a chain that measures 30 inches, and after I've finished that, I'm going to show you how it looks. Alright, so after you've made the number of chains that you need, it must be a multiple of 3 plus 1. So whatever number 3 can go into, you add 1 to that. So I made a total of 100 chains. since about 99 chains gave me 30 inches, so I add 1 to it, which is 100. So that's what you need to do. So just remember, the number of chains that you're making for your length should be a multiple of 3 plus 1 extra chain. So after I've completed that, what I'm going to do now is to just attach the chain to the middle as well. And to do so, you just need to line the chain up properly so that it is not twisted. I'm going to find the center and attach the chain with a slip stitch, and that's it. For the first row, we are going to make double crochets, chain 1 double crochets. So as soon as I get this out of untwisted, okay, so all I need to do is to chain 3, well, chain 4, yarn over, and then make a turn your work, and then make a double crochet in the next chain. We're going to chain 1 and then skip the next chain into double crochet in the next one. So it's only in the middle that you'll not skip any chain, because we need the middle to have a box as well. So continue chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So you'll continue to do this until you have reached this part here. So I'm going to continue until I've completed my first row. Okay, so next you're going to mark where you want your increases. So I know that I want an increase to be at the center, like so that I know for sure. So what I'm going to do is to count the amount of odd boxes that I have and then decide on how I want it. So what I'm going to do, since I already have one here, I'm going to space in between. So every 5 box, then I'll make a gap, an increase, right? Make sure it's not twisted like mine was. Alright, so I have one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if this makes sense. So this is how mine came out, and as I mentioned, I had 50 boxes and I am going to do a total of 10 increases in total. So I just spaced them out by 5. So you can do as many or as few increases as you like, but for this dress, or for this tutorial that I'm doing now, I'll be doing that amount. So you can test it for yourself if you like as many increases or not. So I'm just going to, so to do the increases now, I'm going to chain 3 and then make a total of 10 double crochets in the center that I had the stitch marker. So 2, 3, 4, 4, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm going to put a double crochet in the box right there, in the double crochet next to it. So I'm going to continue with my pattern of chain 1, skip 1 until I am at the second stitch marker. Alright, so now that I'm at the second stitch marker, oops, I'm going to remove the stitch marker and make 10 double crochets in that space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then another double crochet in the on top of the double crochet beside it. I'm going to continue with the pattern, chain 1, make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, oops, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So now we are on our third stitch marker. Well, I am on my third stitch marker. Okay, so this is how it looks after I've made the first row with the ruffles for the increase or the increases, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to switch from doing double crochets to treble crochets, and to do so, chain 4, 4, I'm going to turn our work in the opposite direction. So as you finish each row, you're going to turn in the opposite direction. So you're not going to go around and around and around. You're going to go around and then counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, right? So after I made my chain 4, I'm going to chain 1, yarn over twice, and make a treble crochet in on top of the double crochet there. Chain 1, make a treble crochet, and continue until I've reached the increases. So I've reached the first increase, and all I'm going to do is just to continue with my chain 1 and treble crochet. So that is what you're going to do: chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet. So you're not going to skip out any of the double crochets in the increases. You're just going to continue with chain 1, treble crochet. If you want, well, you don't have to switch if you don't want to. You can continue with the double crochets. It's just that with the treble crochets, it makes it, I'll finish faster, right? So now that I've made all the treble crochets on top of the increase that I have here, this is how it looks. As you can see, so I didn't skip any space. all I did was to make the treble crochets, or you can make your double crochets on top of every increase. So this will be the pattern for the entire, until the length that you want. And I will not give any specific size for any length, since everybody is different and it all depends on how you want it to be, right? So I'll continue with mine off camera and then show you how it looks when I've completed all the rows that I need for the dress, the bottom part of this dress. All right, so remember to continue. You make your double or your treble crochet, chain one, and then with these you continue to skip the spaces. Right? But as it relates to these, only for this row only, you will not skip any spaces for the increases. When you're going to do row 3, you're just going to continue with your double or treble crochet on top, and then you're going to skip the spaces here and then just continue. I'll continue to make mine off camera and show you when I'm finished. Okay, so I've completed all my rows, and in total I have 20 rows. I believe you should make as many rows that fits the length that you want, but for the size that I'm working with, which is on the mannequin, I made 20 rows. So if you want it short, just measure it on yourself to see how it fits for you. So at the end I made some edging, picot edging, and this is how it looks. And just to show you how I did it, to remove 2, so I did it in every other stitch. So here, let me show you. So after this one, made a treble crochet, and I've completed that treble crochet, right? I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then insert my hook into the space with a slip knot. Now I'll show you again. So in this space I made 1 picot stitch, so I'm going to skip this one. Chain 1, yarn over twice, and make my treble crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2, like that. Chain 1, make a treble crochet, and this is the one that I'm going to make the picot stitch on top of. So I chain 3, and then I'm going to insert my hook in between these 2 loops right here, pull through, and then make a slip stitch like so. Chain 1, and then I'm going to complete this row with a slip stitch, and then chain 1, and that's it. So that's how I did my edging, which is optional. So the next thing that we're going to do now is to make our straps for the bra cup. So I already made my first strap, looks like this, and for a small I did 200 because it's going to be wrapped around the back and then around. So once it's wrapped around the back, crisscross, it's going to come around these spaces on the opposite side of the bra cup that we had here, and then it's going to go through these loops. All right, so let me show you what I did. So you're going to get your bra cup, make sure that it is on the correct side, as in this part is not showing, so it should look like this. You're going to get your yarn, and what I did to join my yarn is to just tie it. So I put my hook into the the chain one space that we had at the center, right in between, and then bring my yarn through and then tie it like so. So it looks like this. I'm going to take my yarn and insert my hook again and pull through the loop like this, and then I'm going to start making my chains. So for the small, I'll be making 250 chains. These are some recommended chains that you can make per size. So I'm just going to count to 250 and then come back to you when it's finished. Okay, so I've made all 250 chains, and I'm just going to cut my yarn like so. Now for the somewhat tricky part of it, you're just going to line up your pieces together. Just clear this out of the way. I'm going to line them together, right? So this is the cup on the right side, and as you can see, it's going around already, and this is the one that we just made. You're going to take your chains and then put them around the back to come through this area. So what we're going to do is to take our hook and just weave it in between so that we can pull the chain that we just made, and just pull it through like so. So the chain that you made on the cup goes to the opposite side of the bottom of the other cup, right? So it's like this. So as you can see, you have the crisscross at the back. If you do wish not to have the crisscross, all you need to do is to make your normal chain at the top of the cup so that you can tie it around your neck. Then make another chain to go around the bust, and then make another chain to go through these. But if not, you can do it as I am doing mine. We're going to weave it in the loops of the dress here. To do so, we need to find the center of the dress so that both straps can come to the back. Okay, so for the next side, you're just going to weave in on the opposite side that you started with the first set of chains. You're going to take needle ham, and since you started in the middle, you're going to start in the middle as well and go in and out. So in and out just to weave it in. I'm going to pull it through like so. Just in and out. So that when we want to gather the waist, all we need to do is just to pull it up like this, and you see it's gathered. So as you put it on, you can adjust it the way that you like for it to fit. And as I mentioned, the picot pattern or stitch, they are optional. You don't have to do it. You can make your bra cup whichever way you like, and you can make the number of gathering that you like. But this is just a tutorial just to give you an idea of how to make this dress. So as you perfect it for yourself, you can customize it. So the only thing that we have left to do is to get rid of the excess yarns that we have, right? So I'll show you how it looks at the end of this video on the mannequin. And just remember, you can make the length as long as you want or as short as you would like. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.